now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, this is Halloween, and the old fellas have dropped everything else to join in the activities of the holiday. As we look in on the little community today, it's evening. We find Lum attired in a ghost costume.
And carrying jack-o'-lanterns and one thing and another's all right.
I don't see no sense in any of it.
I mean,
I guess I could like
it's
kind
a
of
good start.
pull parts of it up,
Okay.
maybe?
Wait, what about this side? Over here, like the...
The eve of October had arrived, and we were spending the evening in festive spirits as we prepared for our favorite month of the year to begin.
Hey, babe. I got 2 pumpkins. How'd I do? I think they're like a good size for carving.
I think they're perfect.
Come look at the pumpkin. Come on. Yeah.
Oh, she's so cute.
Hey, honey.
Hello, friends. It is October Eve, meaning we are mere hours away from the start of spooky season. So I thought, what better way to ring in spooky season than to have some October Eve festivities? I'm thinking pumpkin carving, a bake-off. Me and Jared each bake a spooky sweet treat and then rate them 1 out of 10. And the winner gets to choose the spooky movie that we watch. We'll have junk food and it will be a proper movie night. Maybe we'll finish with some reading. I don't know. We'll see where the night takes us. We've got maybe an hour until the sun goes down. So I'm going to put on a Halloween playlist and get ready to carve pumpkins. And I hope that you enjoy this cozy, chatty, more casual vlog video instead of my usual, more curated cinematic videos. There will be more of those this fall, but I just thought it would be fun to chat and hang out with you guys in a more casual way. So I hope you don't mind. Let's get on with the festivities. I think a little pumpkin spice tea break was much needed. During this time, when I take breaks throughout the day, I'll usually pick up one of the fall books that I'm reading or put on a comfort show. But I also love to use this time to pull out my phone and squeeze in a quick German lesson. I need to especially do this today because just last night we watched this old German Dracula film. It was called Nosferatu the Vampire. It was incredibly atmospheric and horrifying, but in the best way possible. And while I understood some of the German because we had subtitles on, I would really love for my German to get to the point where I can understand a lot more and not have to rely so heavily on subtitles. The way that I've personally observed myself making the best progress is when I'm using Rosetta Stone. I know there are so many apps and learning options available, but here's what I love specifically about Rosetta Stone and why it works best for me. I am a very visual learner, and Rosetta Stone presents the language with words and images in a way that my brain just magically puts together. It's like puzzle pieces that just fit. My brain doesn't have to work so hard to put them together. It's almost like magic. And for me, it makes learning so much easier, and it's so convenient. You know, some days I don't want to sit down for a whole lesson. And I think prior to using Rosetta Stone, that would have just resulted in me skipping a lesson completely that day. But with Rosetta Stone, you can choose how you want to learn. If you don't want a whole sit-down, full-length lesson one day, you can read a story or work on your pronunciation with their phrasebook feature. They provide all the tools you need to learn a new language and not get bored along the way. I also really enjoy that lessons can be as short as 5 minutes, making them really easy to squeeze in during times like this. And it's so convenient that it's all just right here in the app. If you're ready to get started learning a language that you've always wanted to learn, or maybe one that you've recently become interested in, Rosetta Stone is offering you guys an exclusive and unbeatable deal of 60% off their lifetime ultimate language subscription. One payment and you get lifetime access to 25 different languages. I really highly recommend checking out Rosetta Stone to see if it works for you. I will have a link down in the description box to get started. I know a lot of people don't like the feeling, but I think it's strangely satisfying.
Okay, what are you doing? What is happening? Did you get it all?
Oops.
Jared had the idea that when I was carving it, he was like, I can sit down, and then some just hit me in the face just for funs and giggles.
She kept missing, and now the entire floor is covered in pumpkin seeds.
This was your idea, not mine.
You know, that's
but
true.
you committed to the role.
I only have myself to blame.
I commend you for that.
Do you like my eyes?
Ooh. What are you making a lady pumpkin?
No. Does it look like a lady?
Okay, but I think since it's October Eve, we should make this a new tradition that we share spooky stories. I know you have a scary one. You told it to me when we first started dating, and I was kind of angry because I was like, you just scared the crap out of me, and now I'm not going to be able to sleep. Should you go first or I go first? We'll do rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors.
Dang it. Best out of 3?
I want you to go first.
So I'm going to tell this story as if it happened one time, but it actually happened like 5 or 6 times. So I went to bed, regular, 9:15, totally normal night. Had school in the morning, whatever, no big deal. Wake up around 1 a.m., toss and turn a little bit, can't quite sleep, it's fine, go back to bed. And then I imagine in my head it was probably like 3 a.m. that I woke up. I don't know exactly what time it was, but it was like the middle of the night, and it was super dark. Have you ever just like woken up like with your heart beating really fast, like in a panic, as if like someone like shook you awake? That's how I woke up, but no one was shaking me awake. It was just like wake up in a panic, right? And then I look around my room, and if a pitch black room could look any darker, that's like what it looked like. And then I kind of like immediately...
Is that why you like night lights now?
Yeah, maybe. And so immediately I look, like my eyes are like drawn to the end of my bed, and there is just a figure standing there at the end of my bed. Can't see their face, but it just looks like, it almost looks like, this is gonna be a stupid comparison, but you know like Aragorn when he's in his cloak at the pub?
Oh yeah.
Kind of like that. But it's like it almost is like a cloaked figure just standing there at the end of my bed.
That is my worst, truly one of my worst fears is waking up and
I just felt like they were like staring right at me, and I had no idea what to do. Like, you know when you get like so scared or freaked out, you just like freeze? So I just like froze and sat there. I don't know how long. We were just sitting there like staring at each other. And so I was like blinking. I was like, oh, maybe I'm like half asleep, right? This isn't real.
It's like sleep paralysis.
You know, like sleep paralysis. So I sit there blinking. I kind of am like, okay, am I actually awake? Is this a dream? I'm like trying to find any reason why this wouldn't be real. And then as I'm like blinking, maybe 20, 30 times, by the time I get to like 30, I blink and it's gone.
And it happened multiple times?
Yeah, this
in different bedrooms?
One time it was like in the corner of my room.
Oh gosh.
Just like standing there.
Stop.
Next to my door, so I can't just like run out of my room. Yeah.
Different bedrooms.
Well, I'm like getting chills.
Different bedrooms?
So that was the same room, those two, and then it happened probably 1 or 2 more times there. And then when I moved to a different room, the room next door, it was like floating in the corner.
Stop! Yeah. What? Are you serious?
Yeah. You know like the Dementors in Harry Potter? This direction, like horizontal.
Did they all of a sudden just stop one day?
Yeah, it just stopped. It never happened again.
That is wild.
Probably just a figment of my imagination.
I would never sleep again.
So yeah, that's my story. Sorry to take so long with it.
Okay, my story happens the week of Halloween, and we were in Northern Ireland. It was just after sundown, maybe an hour or so after sundown, and we were on our way to go get some groceries. We wanted to make dinner. We had been traveling a lot and been eating out, and we decided we wanted to actually make our own food one evening. So we're on our way to this grocery store. It's kind of foggy outside. Oh, yeah. The vibes were vibing. It was a little bit spooky because it was Northern Ireland. There's a lot of ruins and castles and graveyards. We drove past this church that had this beautiful cemetery next to it, but in the fog and mist, and if I remember right, there must have been a full moon because I remember it was decently easy to see all the graves.
And we were like, let's go walk down the path.
I don't think we had been to a cemetery in Northern Ireland yet, and I was like, oh, it's the week of Halloween, let's go look around, read some of the graves. I remembered that we had been on that ghost tour at the jail, and the guy said, if you take a picture with your flash on, sometimes you can see these like orbs. We had heard other people like in our tour group saying that it was true or it had worked for them, or we heard other people talking about it. So then we get back in the car, Jared's driving to the supermarket, and I'm looking through the photos, and I see this distorted face, and it was so creepy. I'll put a picture in here if I can find it and zoom in on the face.
That was forever ago.
It had weird looking eyes and a mouth, and I have no idea. I don't know what's going on It was so spooky, and when I looked at it, I just felt like my heart drop.
Yeah.
I did edit it a little bit just because I turned up the brightness and I turned up
to like
the
see better, and I was like,
yeah.
oh my gosh, that's a face.
Still to this day, I think about that photo.
It was right next to us.
It was one of the last pictures we took right before we left. So
That's true.
maybe it was good that we left. Yeah, if you have any spooky stories, feel free to leave them in the comments. Then we can all go read them and be scared together. Oh, yours is so cute.
It was kind of supposed to be like a Voldemort.
The nose! That is the Voldemort,
nose. So I'm gonna be making homemade Reese's peanut butter cups, kind of, or something that's like really similar. They're gonna be shaped like spooky or Halloween-y stuff. We got lots of options. There's like ghosts, coffins, pumpkins, skulls. The recipe that I'm using is not mine. It's from Kayla's Kitchen, and Desi is gonna be linking it in the description. Well, don't expect it to be aesthetic, babe. The simple recipe was surprisingly easy. All you have to do is get some maple syrup, peanut butter, powdered sugar, and mix that together for your filling, which took me probably 1 minute to make. Oh, hey, Pinks. Whoa, hey, you can't have that. Then place that mixture on some parchment paper, and then place another piece of parchment paper on top and press it down or roll it out. Don't make it too thin. You still want it semi-thick. Then I used these Halloween-style sugar cookie cutouts to get the molds that I wanted. I got a cat, coffin. The coffin shape was the easiest to work with, so it's probably my favorite. The ghost, the tails and arms kept falling off, but we got everything to work in the end anyway. After you put those cutouts on a tray, just stick them in the freezer for about 10 minutes. While those are cooling down and firming up, you'll want to melt some chocolate. I melted some chocolate and white chocolate to dip these in. Kayla's recipe says to use a fork to flip them, and that was extremely helpful. And last, just stick them in the fridge for a couple minutes. Okay, so I just finished those. They are definitely not going to look as aesthetic or nice as Desiree's. I kind of messed up a little bit, but I tested one and they do taste pretty dang good, so hopefully she'll like them.
I am going to be making, what are they called again? Apple puff pastry donuts.
On your marks, get set, bake!
This recipe was so easy, you guys. It took me maybe 20 minutes. You want to flatten the puff pastry as much as possible to press all the layers together, preventing too much puffiness. Then cut 1-inch strips of your puff pastry. I ended up using 2 or 3 strips per apple. Here you want to use the most inner part of your apple because this will make it look most like a donut. Then just dip them in a bowl of cinnamon sugar. I actually think it would taste better with nutmeg and allspice. I'm definitely going to be adding those next time. Then you just take the strips of puff pastry and wrap it around the apple. You can baste them with milk, but I didn't have a brush, so I ended up just dipping them in some milk and then adding cinnamon and sugar to the top. You can garnish them with cute little leaf cutouts. Jared actually helped me make these because he's more artistic than me in that way. Then just pop them in the oven for 12 to 15 minutes. In my case, they needed at least 15 minutes. I finished them off with a caramel drizzle and a little bit more cinnamon sugar. Time for a taste test. I was worried the puff pastry wasn't going to be baked all the way, but it is perfect. Gatsby, you want some?
Gatsby, you want some?
That's so good, but I think next time I would just need to make the apple a little bit thicker because the puff pastry kind of like overtakes the apple flavor, or maybe put more cinnamon on the apple. It kind of tastes like apple pie, but caramel apple pie. It's so good. Okay, I'm gonna try one of the coffins.
Yeah, they're the best.
Like it resembles the pumpkin shape the best.
Yeah.
What? And
How is it?
if
Be
you
honest.
told me that this was a Reese's, I would not even
Really?
question it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, wait. I have to try yours. Okay. Yummy.
They were warm when they came out of the oven, but they've been sitting out a little bit, so well, keep that in mind.
I'm sure they'll still be great. I'll grab this one. It's nice and fluffy and like crisp on the outside. Good apple flavored. Well, we gotta stop filming so I can just go like. Go eat all of it. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers to our our first October Eve bake-off. Oh!
If it's a tie, how do we pick, like, what movie are we watching?
Rock, paper, scissors?
Oh, no!
Rock, paper, scissors. You did my usual and I did your usual, thinking I was gonna choose
I was like,
you.
wait, she's gonna think that I'm gonna do...
Okay, so what movie do you choose? I
Um,
think I was gonna choose The Others with Nicole Kidman because it's like...
I was gonna
really
choose
easy.
the newer Scream movie because we just watched like the old Scream 2.
I like that one. Okay, I'm happy
Yeah?
with that.
Okay, let's
That's
go
a
watch
good
it.
choice.
I'm gonna show you guys this pumpkin spice popcorn that we have. It's by Lesser Evil. I think that's the brand. It is so good.
It is addicting.
It is really good.
It's got
I had some people on Instagram asking if it was good or not, or if they should go get it, and I was like, yes, buy as many as you can, because you're gonna want a lot more. I love it. I love it. It's so magical.
I do like what you've done with the place.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. It was all my idea.
We ended the night cozied up out on the sofa watching a scary movie by jack-o'-lantern light. The house smelled of spiced sugar and it felt like the perfect way to welcome the best month of the year, October. We filled plates with pumpkin spice popcorn, candy, and treats and tried not to cover our eyes the entire movie, which is pretty easy for Jared, but I don't do very well with gore, so it was a bit challenging for me. I think I did close them at some point, but it was the best evening. We just finished the movie. It is really late and I am tired, but so happy. I love cozy warm fall, but I also really love spooky haunted houses, trick-or-treating, hocus pocus, and Halloween Town movie nights fall as well. I can't believe October it's basically here. I'm sending you all my love and wishes for a beautiful, spooky, cozy October, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye, friends. Uh-oh. I'm gonna fall. Going for haunted house, not haunted house, but house that has not been lived in for possibly decades. And it was covered in that fabric that they used on chairs and stuff.
Oh.
But the birds have picked at it and now it's just
The birds?
scraggly old fabric. Yeah.
As opposed to like the roaches.
Yeah, no, birds have flown in through the windows.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Took some of the strings.
Like a
for the
proper
next.
haunted mansion.
You know what actually probably happened?
What?
I think a bunch of Binkses came in.
Do you think that looks more like...
That's right. I think a bunch of Binkses came in and just tore it apart. Are you feasting upon the fabric? What we have here are 2 Reese's. Not 2. What we have here are homemade Reese's peanut butter cups, but not in the shape of a cup. They're in the shape of Halloween stuff. Spooky stuff. Spooky shapes. Anyway.
full of